The regulation and reduction of Airbnb listings in Spain are part of a broader strategic effort to address the complex challenges associated with mass tourism. Over the past decade, Spain, particularly cities like Barcelona, Madrid, and Valencia, experienced an unprecedented surge in tourism, driven largely by the rise of short-term rental platforms. While this boom brought significant economic benefits, including increased income for property owners, job creation in hospitality and service sectors, and a boost to local businesses, it also generated considerable social and environmental concerns. Neighborhoods that were once primarily residential started to feel like transient zones, with an influx of tourists replacing long-term residents. This led to rising housing costs, displacement of local communities, and a deterioration of the authentic character that once defined many neighborhoods. In response, policymakers and city officials have taken steps to regulate and limit short-term rentals, aiming to strike a more sustainable balance. These measures often involve strict licensing requirements, limits on the number of days a property can be rented out annually, and bans on new rentals in particularly affected areas. For example, in Barcelona, authorities have implemented policies that restrict new short-term rental licenses in residential zones, seeking to prioritize housing for residents and curb the proliferation of tourist apartments. These regulations are designed not only to protect local communities but also to prevent the negative environmental impacts associated with high volumes of transient visitors, such as increased waste, congestion, and strain on local infrastructure. The impact of these policies on tourism in Spain has been multifaceted. For tourists, especially those seeking affordable, authentic, and localized experiences, the changes can pose some challenges. The reduction in available Airbnb listings means fewer budget options in prime neighborhoods, possibly leading to higher accommodation costs or the need to explore less central areas. This can alter travel patterns, encouraging visitors to venture beyond traditional hotspots and discover lesser-known parts of cities and regions, which can ultimately diversify and enrich their travel experience. On the other hand, some travelers might perceive these regulations as a positive development, believing they will lead to more authentic interactions with local communities and a less crowded, more manageable tourism environment. From an economic perspective, the effects are equally nuanced. The decline in short-term rental activity has negatively impacted individuals or small businesses that relied heavily on Airbnb income. These hosts often depended on short-term rentals as a primary or supplementary source of income, and restrictions have forced many to adjust or exit the market. Conversely, traditional hotels and other regulated accommodation providers might benefit from increased demand, potentially leading to higher occupancy rates and improved standards. Additionally, by reducing the oversaturation of short-term rentals, local governments hope to foster a more balanced tourism ecosystem that sustains the economy while safeguarding community cohesion. Furthermore, these policies align with Spain's broader goals of promoting sustainable tourism. Over-tourism has long been a concern, contributing to environmental degradation, cultural erosion, and social friction. By limiting short-term rentals, authorities aim to reduce the environmental footprint of tourism, manage infrastructure pressure, and preserve the cultural and historical integrity of cities. This shift also encourages the development of more responsible tourism practices, emphasizing quality over quantity, and fostering deeper, more meaningful interactions between visitors and local residents. In the long term, these regulatory efforts are intended to create a more resilient tourism sector that can adapt to changing social and environmental realities. While there may be some short-term disruptions and economic adjustments, the overarching goal is to develop a model of tourism that benefits both visitors and residents. This includes promoting lesser-known destinations, supporting sustainable business practices, and enhancing the overall quality of visitor experiences. As Spain continues to navigate these changes, it aims to maintain its status as a premier global destination, while ensuring that tourism remains a positive force for local communities and the environment. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to your Travel Trooper for more stories like this and drop a like, share and comment your thoughts below.